Back like I never left. The Chicago Bears are planning to interview the Ohio State offensive line coach Justin Frye to the same position here for the Chicago Bears. Let's go ahead and get into it right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We're back. The Chicago Bears are interviewing today Ohio State offensive line coach Justin Frye. He's going to be interviewing today. I don't know what button I just pressed. When you look at it, he's been in college since 2007. Dan Roushar is still also expected to interview sometime this week. This is good. This is a really, really good interview for the Chicago Bears for this offensive line coach role. When you look at the Ohio State offensive line, how well they develop offensive linemen there, they always have really good execution and game plans on that offensive line as well. So, hey, it is what it is when it comes down to it, man. This is wild. I literally saw this as I was walking away. I was about to change the description on the last live, and I saw this news. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty big news. Justin Frye is no joke. Like, say what you will about it, he's one of the more respected line coaches in the game of college football when you come down to it. He joined Ryan Day's staff in 2022 as an offensive line coach. He's developed guys like Paris Johnson, Dawad Jones, Luke Whippler, all who went into the 2023 draft. Josh Simmons, the tap tackle prospect, going into this draft as well. He's another guy that he helped develop. This is a really, really good potential signing here. Now, Dan Roushar would still possibly be my favorite because he's a veteran and he's done it before at the NFL level. But if the Bears cannot get Dan Roushar, Justin Frye is a really good candidate, another young and up-and-coming coach as well. He would fit in line with those things that the Chicago Bears have done. This is really good. This is really good. Listen, the Bears, the way that the Bears address this offensive line is hugely important. And it's really important and I look at this as something that they cannot miss on. You cannot afford to miss on how you develop the offensive line going forward. Especially when you look at Darnell Wright. He's already been under idiots that haven't really developed him well. To bring in the right guy here, and Justin Frye, a guy who's developed guys at the college level. Of course, there's always that question on how somebody translates from college to the NFL, but Justin Frye is one of those guys because of what he's been able to do and help get guys ready for the NFL. I just named it. He's only been at OSU for 3 seasons. And you look at Paris Johnson, Dawad Jones, Luke Whippler, Josh Simmons coming in this year. I tell you what, he's done a really damn good job getting some NFL caliber offensive linemen developed, and that's not something that I hate about it at all. So really like that. Chris Evans, I like a college national championship champion in Chicago and as an online coach. Completely agree with you that this would be a really good one. Really good one. The Foghorn sign reminds me of the Simpsons episode in International Waters. That is hilarious. That's funny. Dan, Bears ain't playing the season coming. Really hope it all shakes out, at least a playoff run. Listen, I feel you when you come down to with that one. Of course, we all want the Bears to make the playoffs. That should be the ultimate goal here for sure. So, do we need to satisfy the Rooney Rule with the O-line coach? No. I think the only positions you need to satisfy the Rooney Rule for are head coach and coordinator positions. I think that's it. And of course, GMs and things like that. But I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. So. Love me some Buckeye acquisitions. Again, as an OSU guy, I love when I love OSU acquisitions. It's part of the reason why I hope we get Chase Young. But that's a story for another day. Now we just need players wanting to come here and play. So maybe 1 year of Ben showing he can fix and right the ship in 1 year shift. I can see some free agents maybe coming to Chicago despite the cold. Listen, it's football, right? And here's the thing. If the Bears build it right, it's not just about signing the big name free agents. It's about developing those guys. And so I think we've already seen some free agents like People forget Tremaine Edmonds was the number one linebacker free agent when he was a free agent. He wanted to come here. Now the Bears had to pay him to get it done, and he hasn't necessarily lived up to that contract. But I think when it comes down to it, they just want to have faith, right? If you can show that players' faith in your franchise, that there is some there, as well as you having a roster and the right coaching staff, coaches go a long way in bringing in guys as well. I think if we are able to get a guy like Chase Young or somebody like that, it does come between having a guy like Dennis Allen here. So, you never know what's going to happen there. But to get back into this is a really good interview. And the fact that he's interviewing today, the same time that it's announced, I don't have anything on if it's in person or not. But yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I think this is a really good interview here for the Chicago Bears. I really do think it is. And I still, like I said, Dan Roushar is still my number one for offensive line because he's a proven guy. But if it's not going to be Dan and it ends up being somebody like a Justin Frye, I think that's a pretty damn good signing personally. I think that's a pretty damn good signing. Bear Down from Texas, thank you guys for all the constant updates. That's what we do here. Listen, I know we've got a lot of new subscribers here recently. If you're new to Chicago Bears Central, the model that we live by is we want to be your subscription here. We want you to feel like you get everything you need for the Chicago Bears all in one place. Not to say don't go to other places. There's some great Bears content creators out there that we listen to and rock with. But we want that subscription to mean something. We want it to feel like, hey, we're getting analysis, we're getting news, we're getting play-by-play, we're getting all that, right? And so, hey, we love being able to bring that here. The Bears lack blitzing was way too predictable. Why are we talking about that? But I agree with you. So, well, we probably can't hire anyone worse than Chris Morgan. Well, we also thought that about Luke Getsy. And look how that went. So I'm just saying, it is what it is. But all right, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Quick one on this one. And if anything comes out after the interview, we hear anything, of course. But the Dan Roushar interview, that's going to be the big one. Because I think if the Bears can land that interview and bring in Dan Roushar, hey, listen. That's high expectations for your offensive line at that point. That's a really, really high expectation there. You think this could be an indication that we go to Ohio State players at the top of the draft? Simmons, OT, Jackson, OG, Henderson. You know what? Could very well. And don't overlook this is getting an opportunity to kind of just seeing a little bit on the inside of that. But a lot of those guys, I do have a lot of hope that they can come to the Chicago Bears. I really do hope that as well. So we'll see. We'll see, man. But yeah. I'm still hoping for a live broadcast of a football game between CBC and the Windy City Breeze. Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but me and Pat host Locked On Bulls together. So you actually we're very entwined with the Windy City Breeze. Now, I don't know if you ever see it because we do our live calls very differently. That's just too many people. So I have personally, like, you got to think about it. When they do our live calls, there's 3 or 4 people in it. When Windy City Breeze, there's like 4 or 5 people in it. 9 people on a live call is way too much. But what you could get next year is a live event hosted by the Windy City Breeze and Chi-Town Sports Central. So stay in tune for that one because me and Pat, we're like brothers. Me and Pat talk every day. But love you guys. Make sure you guys are in tune with us. You can follow us at Chi Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, 773-242-9336 with your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.